I got this cute table from the thrift store for $5, and I know exactly what I'm going to do with it because I also got from the Goodwill another item that I think is super cool is this vintage Drink Coca-Cola sign that I purchased for just $3.99, and I'm going to put this on the top of this little table and make it a cool Coca-Cola table. I grew up in a family who loves Coca-Cola, so I'm stoked about this project. I am also super stoked about this DeWalt table saw that I just purchased on Amazon. I think I got a really good deal. It's going to make my life a little easier. As you can see here, I am cutting the boards the size I need to frame the Coca-Cola sign, and that is what I'm doing at this time. You have got to love the power that you feel behind these power tools. There's nothing like it. I love this thing. I do have to give credit where credit is due to an acquaintance friend of mine who showed me how to use this for primarily safety, but just some basics because I have never used a table saw before. So a shout out to Rob. Thanks, Rob. Let her rip. As you can see, I made my marks on the wood for the width I want these pieces to be. You always want to use your push stick as you get to the end of the board so you don't lose your fingers. Okay, we have our thrifted Coca-Cola sign that I'm sitting here on the small table. I stained these pieces of wood that I just cut that are going to frame the sign. It is not the perfect color of stain to the table, but it's going to be close enough. I had stained it one color. I ended up going to the hardware store and getting another color called Gunstock and going over it. But even though it's not exactly the same, the table's going to come out cute. And remember, I am not a professional. I am a DIYer, and I like to show people how you can make things for yourself that are super easy, but very creative, fun, and functional. So I am placing the last piece down here, as you can see, and this is what it's going to look like. I like it. Now I do want to adhere these pieces down with screws, but first I'm just going to use some wood glue. As you can see, my glue was dried up and I had to pull out that piece of dried glue, but now that I got that removed, I'm just going to spread some wood glue here onto the pieces of board, place them on the table, and then I will let them dry. I get super excited when I come up with these one-of-a-kind ideas that I think are super fun and can be definitely conversation pieces in your home. If you like Coca-Cola, I think you'll appreciate this project. So I glued down 3 pieces of the frame around the sign, and now I'm going to actually glue the sign to the table, and then I will put the last piece of the frame around it. Drink Coca-Cola, sold here ice cold. I really do like my Coca-Cola ice cold. In fact, I always get extra ice in my Coca-Cola. Last piece to glue down. Okay, the glue has dried. I'm going to flip our little table upside down on this blanket so I don't scratch the top of it. And I'm looking to see what size screw I need to place into the frame and the sign. I really just needed a 1 1/4 inch number 6 wood screw, but I only had a 1 1/2 inch. So that's what I'll be using, but I'll have to be careful that I don't go through to the other side. I'm just testing out putting in 2 screws, so I drilled the holes and placing in the 2 screws now. I checked to make sure they didn't go through, and we're good. So now I will drill the rest of the holes and place in all the screws that go into the frame, around the sign, and into the sign. These are the wood screws I'm using. Now I am actually putting screws into the sign so that it is adhered to the table well. I knew this would happen. 2 of the screws just ever so slightly came through the wood on the front side, but you know what? That's okay because I can just back out the screw slightly and then just stain that little spot, and it looks rustic anyway, so we're still good. You guys have probably been waiting for me to take the sticker off from the Goodwill. It wanted to stay stuck to my finger, but it was only $3.99 for the sign. Look how cool this is. So I have my fun Coca-Cola table sitting right next to my red chair in my office. I absolutely love it because it is a one-of-a-kind piece. It is super fun, definitely a conversation piece. Gotta love that sound. Here's my reward to a job well done. Another Poppin PJ garage creation. That's good.